What's going on, good people? What's going on, good people? Let me know. Am I good? Let me know. We live. Let me know if the audio's good, if the visual's good. Go ahead, hit me with the thumbs up. Let me know. I'm excited today. I'm excited tonight. I should say right tonight. I'm excited, man. It's a big game tomorrow. It's a big game tomorrow. Let me know if I'm good, man. Then we can get this show on the road. I do apologize for being a little bit early today. I am early today. There's some college games I want to watch tonight. So I'm not going to keep anybody for a long time. We're going to vibe for sure. We're going to vibe today. And we're going to talk about this game because I'm a little bit fired up. I saw some things on Twitter today coming from the Cincinnati Bengals social media team. I don't know if anybody else got a chance to see it, but they had a graphic that they put up. They had a lion. The lion had the crown of the Statue of Liberty on it, and he was chewing on the Giants helmet. And yeah, that took me over the edge, man, just a little bit. Just a little bit. So you know what? I'm gonna talk my stuff tonight. I'm gonna talk a little bit of trash tonight, and see how everybody's feeling, man. See how everybody's feeling. Thank you for letting me know I'm sounding good. Perfect. So yeah, man. I don't know if you guys saw that graphic. Let me know if you guys saw that graphic though. But yeah. So obviously it's not exactly what we wanted it to be this week. A lot of injuries. Tibbs, Nabers is out again. The punt is out. Devin Singletary is out. Bryce Ford Wheaton is out. So a lot of people got to step up this week. A lot of the same people need to step up this week, and some new people too. So first thing I'm going to talk about is Kayvon Thibodeaux, man. Kayvon Thibodeaux being placed on IR. How do we feel about it? How do we feel about it? Absolutely, Bill. Bill said that that poster, it's locker room material for sure. I'm printing that out and I'm putting it up in the locker room. That's how they want to do it, and it came directly from the Cincinnati Bengals too. Yeah, I need to see that. I need to see that. The team needs to see that. I'm pretty sure they already saw it though. That's a fact. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. 19 strong. My man Mickey X is in the building. TP Weighted Giant was in the building. I don't know if he's still here, but he will be active, is what he said. Shout out to Pat and Drive is in the building. Shout out to my family. Shamari Wilson is in the building. OJ, which OJ is in the building. Okay, shout out to my man Dennis El Jefe in the building. What's going on? Europe? Yeah, man. Locker room material. Oh, yeah. Like I said, I'm live, man. I'm live. I'm early. Though. I'm an hour, about an hour early, man. Like I said, I want to watch the game tonight. I want to see that whole Colorado game. So we'll see what happens with that, though. But anyway, we're talking Giants football. So, yeah, man. Kayvon Thibodeaux being out, the only thing that I can say as a true football fan is the next man up. Azeez Ojulari, this is your chance. There's not a lot of people, not a lot of guys that are not starters that are going into their contract year. They get this type of opportunity. We know that Kayvon Thibodeaux is going to be out for at least 4 weeks. That's what IR is. It's going to be at least 4 weeks. I need Azeez Ojulari to show up with a lot. I'll just keep it at. I'll keep it like that. I need Azeez to show up. He has showed up in spurts. He flashed the season already, but he said, "What? I got to pause already? I don't think I did anything wrong. Let me know what I missed. I pause it, man. So pause. I guess I missed one. But yeah, man. Azeez Ojulari. I got faith in Azeez. Again, it's a contract year, and we know how these players play when it's a contract year. He want the bag, so he got to show up. He got 4 weeks to show the New York Giants what he's about. He might be auditioning for the New York Giants in a new contract. He might be auditioning for another team if we're not able to, to re-sign him. But the whole point is that he got 4 weeks where he's going to be dependent on as a starter opposite of Brian Burns, and I need Azeez, to go off. So let me know how you guys feel about Azeez. Are y'all comfortable with Azeez? Like I said, I'm happy that we have Azeez at least, because there was some people that were ready to trade Azeez before the season started, and you see what happens now. My man Bill said Azeez show up, stay healthy. That's a fact. He has to stay healthy. He has to stay. I think he will. My man TP says Azeez got to show up. A lot of people saying the same thing. He got to show up. He said, Quiz 2 Swift says, Dash, if we were to trade, what position, why would you say? Talk about at the trade deadline. I'm definitely getting a 3 technique and I'm looking at cornerbacks if we're buyers during the trade deadline. That's one position I would look. Two positions that I would look at: D tackle and cornerback for sure, for sure. Even though these guys are stepping up, the defense is coming along. I still believe that you need somebody else on that defensive line just to add a little bit more depth. And then you need another cornerback for sure. But I do like the way that Fly has been playing the last couple of weeks for sure. For sure. Bookend tackle says Azeez has always played well, just gets hurt. Yeah, that's the only issue we have with Azeez. And that's probably one thing that's probably going to stop him from getting a lot of getting big money, I should say, his injury history. But it all depends on how he plays too, man. Because if he plays lights out the next couple of weeks, you're definitely going to have some people that are probably going to want to call and see if we're open to trade him for sure. Or we can try to extend him as well. But I doubt we see any kind of movement with Azeez before the season ends. You know what I mean? Shout out to Omega Supreme. He says, "What up, Dash? At work tonight, just checking in and hit the like button and say what up to our Giants family." That's a fact. Thank you for hitting that like button. And please hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But shout out to Omega Supreme, always showing his love and support for real. TP, a lot of people agreeing with TP. He said, "You're not going to get better than Azeez as far as coming off of the bench is concerned." No, that's a fact. He like, I mean, if we're going to be honest here, well, first of all, he's a second round pick. And then we expected him to be the guy. His injuries, and not being able to get on the field is the reason why Brian Burns is here right now. Why we paid Brian Burns so much money is because he couldn't stay healthy. But it wasn't because, he wasn't worth the pick, second rounder, like Azeez, his rookie year. What he had played 8 games, 8 sacks in 8 games, something like that. And, we held on this for as long as we could. And prior to that Brian Burns deal, we were still looking at Azeez as a starter next to Kayvon Thibodeau. And we probably would have drafted another edge, this past draft, but we ended up with Brian Burns and the rest is history. But again, you see how everything comes back around full circle. Azeez Ojulari is you're being dependent on by the New York Giants, man. And another thing is this too, man. For the people that were able to go to some of these games for the New York Giants, shout out to y'all for that support. For this to be another home game, right? And we don't have a single touchdown at home this season. We got to show up for the fans, man. The Giants need to show up for the fans. We need to put on one of these big performances for the home crowd. That's what I'm rooting for. Not only get our first touchdown at home, get our first win at home for this season. And for us to do it to a team like the Cincinnati Bengals, who, yes, their record is 1-4, but they're way better than that 1-4 record. It is what it is. That offense could score points. If we beat the Cincinnati Bengals, or when we beat the Cincinnati Bengals, it should propel this team moving forward for sure. We definitely need this win, just like the Cincinnati Bengals. In all honesty, they need this win too. So this is two teams that are going to be fighting. Tomorrow, and hopefully the New York Giants pull it out. You guys are in the chat. Let's see what we got going on, man, because I see a lot of people in here. And one other thing I wanted to get at. Now, the Devin Singletary thing, that surprised me. I thought he was going to be ready to go. He was practicing. They looked like they ramped him up a little bit, but then we get the news today that they shut him down along with Jamie Gilliam. So we don't have the punter. We don't have Singletary. But because of the performance that Tracy put on last week, I think a lot of people are just more comfortable with the situation. Now, can Tyrone Tracy do it again? That's the question. Is he going to be able to do it again? I think he can. We already know, or it's been going around, that the defense of the Cincinnati Bengals is the weak part. That's the weak link, is their defense. So everything that we did last week against the Seahawks, I think we can do those same things against the Bengals for sure. And one of my keys to victory, and again, it's a broken record, I always say you got to stop the run and be able to run the ball. But in this case, the way that you counter the Cincinnati Bengals and that explosive offense that they have, that passing game that they have, is to keep them off the field. And the only way to keep them off the field is to sustain drives. We have to have some long drives, man. And that's what the New York Giants do. We're not known for, last week we got a couple of explosive plays and we scored quickly on that one drive, with the big pass from Slayton. But outside of that, it's methodical. The New York Giants, it was balanced. We run the ball, we throw the ball, and we eat up a lot of clock. And that's going to be the recipe for tomorrow, in my opinion. So let me know what you guys think about that, man. What's your recipe on how to beat the Bengals? Shout out to the super chat, $10 super chat with no comments. So I'm just going to accept that as love and support. I appreciate that for sure. TP Way says, facts. MetLife is starving for a Giants win. Some would say we don't deserve the primetime slot. Let's put on the show. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. I'd be lying if I tell you I wasn't nervous about the primetime slot. I was nervous about the primetime slot. And that's just PTSD for the most part as a Giants fan. But we got to turn it around, man. The only way you can change the mindset of the fan base is if you go out in prime time and you put on the show like my man TP Way said. You got to put on the show tomorrow. Shout out to my man Curtis Roundtree in the building, one of my day one guys right there. He said, what it do, Big Dash? What's going on, Curtis? How's everything going, man? The New York Giants says Jones was the one who made us lose to the Cowboys. What I said before we went to the, I don't know what he said right there. You got to, maybe you did something. Did you write something before that? I think I might know what you're talking about. Ed Liz says, hope neighbors have fun at the Travis Scott concert. Now that's that's one of the things I did want to talk about just for a little bit though. Because it's split down the line, man. It's split down the line. It's 50-50 how people feel about the situation in that Travis Scott concert. To me, I'm not as worried about it as a lot of other people are. I will say this also. If you can't make it through a Travis Scott concert, you can't make it through a game either. That game is way worse than what the Travis Scott concert is. I will say this though. When you know you have the spotlight on you, some things you might not want to do, but he's well in his right to enjoy himself and go to the concert. I will say that concussion is a concussion. I'm pretty sure if he was cleared, he would have played, even though he went to the concert. So it is what it is. It is what it is. My man Quiz says blitz Burrow so he don't have a chance to make big time throws. We have to contain Chase. Yeah. That's one thing too. Bruce Bowen, Bruce Bowen, good Lord. Shane Bowen, I've been happy with what Shane Bowen has done the last few weeks as far as the defense being aggressive, especially what he's doing with Dexter Lawrence and moving him up and down the line, trying to find, the mismatch. And for me, anywhere you line up Dexter Lawrence is going to be a mismatch for the person that's facing him. But aggressiveness is something that we have to maintain tomorrow. Joe Burrow, one of the best as far as pre-snap, post-snap. He's one of those dudes. I'm going to be respectful. He's one of those dudes. He's not trash. He's a baller. He's a baller. But you have to bring the pressure. And if you can't get pressure with 4, you got to bring 5 and you got to bring 6 on occasion. That's just something that you have to do, in my opinion. You have to apply the pressure because that's what helps out the secondary. When you look at the matchup on paper, it's not even close as far as our cornerbacks. Like Chase versus Tay Banks, it's not close. That's Chase. T. Higgins versus Flott. Again, it doesn't bode well. But the false multiplier will be pass rush. If Brian Burns can get home, if Azeez can get home, if Dexter Lawrence can get home, that helps out that secondary. And I think that's what the game plan has to be. We have to keep sending guys. We have to make Burrow uncomfortable. We have to make his decisions pretty quickly. We don't need anybody back there with 3, 4, 5 seconds. They'll absolutely pick us apart. Shout out to my man Curtis says all as well. That's a fact, man. I appreciate that. Shamari says, I'm glad you're early today. I'm awake for this live. He said East Coast time. Let's go, Dash. Yeah. I did it a little bit early, man. I did it a little bit, well, like I said, an hour early, man. I'm trying to watch this game for sure. And yeah, show some support, man. Gotta like this live. That's a fact. That's a fact. So I think one thing that Brian Dable did though, he learned from his mistake earlier when we didn't have a kicker, and they signed another punter. I can't remember the punter's name, but we do have a replacement for Gilliam for tomorrow. Hopefully we don't punt at all. That would be perfect if we didn't punt at all, like the Washington Commanders did. But I think he learned from his lesson, and I think he learned a lesson in what happened earlier this year. And I'm happy. Like I said, a lot of things caught me by surprise. I wasn't expecting him, the punter. I wasn't expecting Bryce Ford Wheaton. He came out of nowhere. Singletary, I thought was going to be back. But again, we don't get everything that you want all of the time. It's just more adversity. And with that being said, I've been saying it for weeks. I've been saying it for a year. I've been talking about Jalen Hyatt, talking about how we need a show from Jalen Hyatt. I was 2 weeks early on calling a big game from Tyrone Tracy. I thought he was going to do it in the Cowboys game. He did it in the Seattle game. I've been calling for Jalen Hyatt all year, even last year. And I think prime time, we need one of those games from Jalen Hyatt. I'm not giving up on Jalen Hyatt. There's a lot of people that, they got him in a doghouse now. But as soon as that man makes a big play, I think everybody gets back on board for Jalen Hyatt. So somebody got to show up. Can Slayton do it 2 weeks in a row? Wan'Dale Robinson, Theo Johnson, Daniel Bellinger, somebody got to get off tomorrow. Pause. Somebody has to make something shake. And we need not just Darius Slayton and Daniel Jones, man. Daniel Jones in a primetime game in front of all the haters, the naysayers, the people that are on the fence like me, waiting to see what happens, I'm just waiting to be super supportive, right? I jumped out the window before when it comes to Daniel Jones going crazy, talking, especially going into the 2023 season. I fell on my face. Now I'm appreciative of the games that Daniel Jones are putting together right now. Solid games, good performances. This is a prime time game. Daniel Jones against the Cincinnati Bengals, Sunday Night Football. Again, the biggest show. Actually, not this week. Sunday Night Football is not the biggest game this week. But again, that's the prime time game. Everybody will be watching. This will be a perfect time for Daniel Jones to show up and show out. And that's what I'm waiting for, man. That's what I'm waiting for. That's probably the last thing I need before I go crazy and jump out the window again, is a great performance from Daniel Jones, primetime Sunday Night Football against the Bengals. I would love to see it, man, because at the end of the day, I bleed blue, and I need the New York Giants to win games. That's for sure. Shout out to Cash Out James in the chat. My man Ruben says Daniel Jones 350 plus, 3 touchdowns passing, 2 touchdowns rushing. You trying to make that man the MVP, Ruben? You trying to make that man the MVP? I appreciate it. I like it. I'm for it. I'm for it for sure. Thunder says BFW. That's Bryce Ford Wheaton. I love to finally see him break out too, not just on special teams. Thunder. I hate to break it to you. BFW is not playing tomorrow. He is out. He is out with a shoulder injury. And again, I don't know how he hurt his shoulder. Maybe he was dancing in the locker room, after that victory. But I don't know how he hurt his shoulder, but he's out with a shoulder. Don't know what happened. Ed Liz said, I saw a video showing Hyatt had a hard time separating. I want him involved, but man, make plays. That's his weakness. Again, getting off the press is one of his weaknesses. The man is 170 pounds, soaking wet. He's a speed demon. The one thing that we saw, though, we saw how Dable used Nabers because he didn't want Nabers getting pressed. So what did he do? He kept him in motion, lined him off the line so he couldn't be pressed. You got if you can be creative with Nabers, and Nabers is way more talented than Hyatt. But if you're doing that for Nabers, go ahead and do it for Hyatt as well. Get him in motion. Get him off of the line so he can avoid the press. We know what his weaknesses are, but we also know what his strengths are. We have to play to these guys' strengths. And speaking of plays and calling plays, the one thing that I'm complaining about right now when it comes to Brian Dable is the red zone play calling. It has not been good enough this year. If you're arguing with me, it is what it is. You can argue till the cows come home. I don't like the play calling in the red zone. We have to get better in the red zone because I said it in the earlier video. I said if the New York Giants can be better in the red zone, you're looking at a team that can score 24 to 20 to 28 points a game, in my opinion. If we clean that up in the red zone, I think we can do something like that. Shout out to my man Mark Thompson in the building. Mark Thompson says good night to you, Dash, and all in the chat just listening. Shout out to Mark, man. Long time guy, Mark Thompson right there. And everybody showing love. He said, Mark Thompson said, for now. Yeah, man. New York Giant Gargoyle said, it's crazy how I use the Giants and Bengals in Madden. I mean, hey, I haven't played Madden in a while, actually, truthfully. But I never play with a different team other than the New York Giants. Never do. I can't do it. I can't play. The last time I played with another team other than the Giants, it might have been like Madden 2003 or something like that. We talking way back, way back before Eli for sure. I used to play with the Seahawks when they had Sean Alexander. I remember that. That was way back, way back. Shout out to Prince Castro in the build. I can't wait to see Hyatt and Slayton out wide with Neighbors in the slot. I can't wait to see it either, man. We won't, you know what? We won't see that till next week, to the Eagles game. That's the return of Neighbors right there. Is the Eagles game. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but that's the game right there. My man Extra Sauce says Drew Phillips fully healthy, ready to. Yeah, he is. He's fully healthy. He's good to go. That's what Dable said. He said he's good to go. No, didn't hold back at all. So that's fantastic news right there about Drew Phillips. I think he does a lot and brings a lot of energy, to this defense for sure as a rookie. Just like Tyler Newman too, another rookie that's doing this thing. My man, look at I got family in the building. I got father and son in the building. Shout out to my nephew over here. Davon, what's going on? Isaiah Simmons got to step up as an edge. That's a fact. That's a fact. Shout out to my nephew, man. Enjoying that California weather. Martin 2 live. Well, Martin 2L D live. He says we need to start locking in the second half. That's what I'm worried about. Now that's a fact. The offense, it seems like we like to take our foot off the pedal in the second half. And I know I said I had one complaint about Brian Dable, and that was the red zone scoring. But also, I think once we get into the second half, I think he takes his foot off the gas a little bit, and you don't see that same aggressive play calling in the second half. And the New York Giants need to finish games, that's for sure. And especially this week, because those Bengals, we've seen they've been scoring 30 points. They can put up points fast. So every opportunity that the New York Giants have, we have to take advantage of those opportunities, and we have to put up touchdowns, not field goals. Field goals won't get it done. Field goals will not get it done. The New York Giants says, Big Dash, do you love the New York Knicks? Let me tell you a funny story. I'm from Jersey, right? I'm from Jersey. My step pops, Knicks fan, right? So I remember, even though I was a Nets fan growing up, I always followed the Knicks. And then when the Nets moved to Brooklyn, I gave up on the Nets, to be honest. Yeah, I think I stopped being a Nets fan after we lost to the Lakers back to back in the early 2000s. But I am, like, as far as Knicks go, I've been rooting for the Knicks, because I can't just claim the Knicks, because I'll be a lie if I was just claiming the Knicks. I've been rooting for the Knicks since the early 90s. Those early series, the Patrick Ewings, the Harpers, the Starks. I go way back when it comes to those New York Knicks. So I got a lot of love for the New York Knicks. And the funny thing is I am rooting for the Knicks this year for sure. And I am following the Knicks closer than I have in a very long time. Kenny Smith says, so us Giants fans feeling ourselves. That's how maybe something going on in the chat. Listen, I'll say this, and I'm gonna be honest, because I'm not gonna fall back at all when it comes to the situation. I like the way that the New York Giants are playing right now. I'm gonna say some things that people will roll their eyes at, but the New York Giants should have 2 more victories this year. I think we should have beat the Commanders. I think we should have beat the Dallas Cowboys. Now that's just thinking, woulda, coulda, shoulda, stuff like that. But I really do believe if we had a kicker, we beat the Commanders. I do believe if we showed a little bit more aggressiveness, we would have beat the Cowboys as well. But it is what it is. We're sitting at 2-3, trying to get to 500 tomorrow, and we need to do that. Shout out to my man Rick that says, oh, I'm sorry, Rick Torchier. Let me know if I'm saying that right, Rick. He says we need to touch Burrow. Pause, but I know what you mean. I'm trying to put him on the ground. Put him on the ground all game. Give him something to think about. All game. Dexter Lawrence, everybody. I'm trying to do that all game. For sure. Shout out to the super chat again. No comment. Let me get a comment with the super chat. I appreciate the love and support for sure. Okay, TP. I knew this was coming, TP. Wandell, no drops this game. That's a fact. Wandell had a couple of big drops this season, and a lot of those had to be third downs, drive killers. I gave, I went back and forth with TP. about the drops and about the quarterback play earlier. But TP, yeah, in front of everybody that's here, in front of everybody, TP, you were right. These guys got to hold on to the ball. I might argue with you about that Slayton catch on the sideline when he had to reach behind him. But when it comes to Wan'Dale Robinson and a couple of Malik Nabers drops as well, guys got to catch the ball. That's what you get paid to do. That's what you get paid to do. Thunder said Nets a booty. That's a fact, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. Once they left New Jersey, the love, I lost the love, man. I lost the love. D New York. Listen, you can't blame me. I was a kid. Man. Listen, the Kenny Anderson, Derek Coleman. I was a kid. I'm from New Jersey. I saw the Nets play before I saw the Knicks play. And it is what it is. It is what it is. Shout out to Shamari. It says pressure on the QB and control the line of scrimmage and finish the plays in the red zone, touchdowns, not field goals. That's a fact. That's a fact. Family thinking the same. We're thinking the same. I agree. A man hit me with the pause. Yeah, man. You guys can do that for me because I'm usually pretty good with catching the pauses. Pause. Good Lord. I don't want to catch nothing. Leave it alone. But Prince Castro says DJ is going to get re-signed. Y'all going to be sick. The bright side is we're watching his evolution. Re-sign? You mean they're going to rework his deal? Listen, if the New York Giants rework Daniel Jones's deal, that means he balled out. That means they don't want to pay him, they don't want to pay him the sticker price for next year, and they want to rework his deal to bring his cap hit lower in order to do what they need to do in free agency. So Prince Castro, if that happens, if DJ gets re-signed, that means he put up a hell of a season. I will say that. I will say that. Bookend Tackle says this is a better team than 22. He said we win some. We win some. Probably should have lost in 22. We won some. We probably should have lost. This year we're losing ones we should have won. That's a fact. I agree with that, man. There's a couple games we should have. TP said I'm with you. Let's see what else we got going on. Nah, another pause. Shout out to my man Joseph Wilcox, $5 super chat. He says if Slay and Robinson catch a few right off, then Hyatt will open. Will open up on someone. Just catch the doggone ball. That's a fact. Just catch the ball, man. And I can't wait. Listen, man. You guys know me. You guys been hanging out and vibing with me for a while now. The first time Hyatt gets a catch, man, I'm gonna go crazy. And for me, it would be poetry if Hyatt's first catch is a touchdown. That it will be poetry for me. That's what I'm rooting for right now. But I just need him to catch the ball too. That's a fact. I think I'm caught up. Tanya says, hey, Giants, Big Blue. That's a fact. Shout out to family there. Amir says, if we keep DJ, I'm out of here ASAP. Listen, it's still 50-50, man. It's still 50-50. You see the fan base. Everybody's in here and we vibing. No matter what side we sitting on right now. Pause. You got some people that support them. You got some people that still can't stand them. But right now, you either in the car, you're not in the car. And if you're rooting for the Giants to win, you're in the car and you root for the quarterback as well. We'll let 2025 sort itself out in 2025 for sure. What does it say? Prince Castro says Hyatt been getting sent on clear out routes. That's true. And it's been working. He creates an insane amount of space. He does. And also, he got some holding calls. Those are first downs. He's still being respected out there. So they still respect his speed. A lot of teams, they're not dumb. They're not stupid. They know they still have to keep an eye out for Hyatt out there, because every time he's on the field, the chance of a big play is right there. And that's something that you can't coach the speed that this guy has. And it's just about the opportunities. And I will say this too, last week on that deep pass down the right sideline to Slayton, it was mirror routes. On the opposite side, you had Hyatt, and they both pretty much got open around the same time, about the 35-yard line. It's just that Daniel Jones, right-hand quarterback, first read was Darius Slayton. He let it rip. And Darius Slayton caught about a 40-yard pass. It is what it is. Had he gone the other way, I think you get the same result with Hyatt. But again, he's familiar with Slayton. Slayton was his first read. He felt like Slayton had him beat. Slayton got the ball. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Can we spread the ball around? I want to see the tight ends get involved. Not even a little bit more, a lot more. We saw 4 catches in the first quarter from Theo Johnson, and I think on the season he might have had like 4 targets prior to that game. We need to get the tight ends involved, man, for sure, for sure. My name is the New York Giant because I am a Giant. All right. Well, thank you for the information. That's what's up. I wonder what's our game plan to slowing down Burrow and those wide receivers. They ain't no slouches. If we stop them, I'm no longer going to be humble. That's a fact. That's one thing I can't wait. Like, for me, I just want to be able to talk to anybody, go into any spaces on Twitter, join any conversation as a New York Giants fan, and be able to talk trash. That's what I want. Because right now, I go in certain rooms, I want to talk my trash, and people say, yeah, but you're a Giants fan. Nah, we need to change that narrative. We need to bring the glory back to the New York Giants, and we can start tomorrow with that. Because guess what? Bengals fans talk crazy, super crazy. And I can't wait to pull off this victory and get into the spaces on Monday morning and talk some trash. That's for sure. That's for sure. And then we can't even talk trash for long because we got the Philadelphia Eagles and Saquon Barkley coming the following week. So we can, like I said, get this win one game at a time, but we already know what next week holds. That's the Philadelphia Eagles back in MetLife, and we got some things to talk about for sure. For sure. My man Kenny Smith says, I'm so ready to be a proud fan. It's been so damn long. Nah, that's a fact, man. You can still be proud. You can still be proud again. I still go everywhere with my Giants hats. And guess what? For the people that were here last week, I told you guys that story that I was in, running my errands. I was in the store and it was a 49er fan in there. And he was like, oh, I'm hoping you guys pull off the miracle and beat the Seattle Seahawks. Remember, I told you guys that story. Guess where I was at this morning? I was back at that store looking for that guy, and I couldn't find him. Because I was definitely going to talk to that man for a little bit. And yeah. I was definitely looking for him today. I couldn't find him. I went to the section where I normally see him, and I didn't see him. So it is what it is. He might have saw me coming. Pause. TP Wade says the Seahawks game gave me some type of ammunition in conversations. True. Not a lot, but something to defend myself with. And you know what's crazy? Me too. I felt the same way. And then they went and laid an egg against the 49ers, man. Geno Smith was trash in that game against the 49ers. Straight trash. But it is what it is, man. I take my wins. It is. Shamari says his ass was Casper the Ghost. Yeah, he was. I couldn't find him. At all. I was looking for him too. Trust me. I parked. I went. I was looking for him. Couldn't find him. Joseph Wilcox says, I agree with you. I agree with what you said earlier. Ball control, keep them off the field. Giants 38-27. Okay, so we done got into the prediction part of the live. Cool. And you know what? I do have a prediction this week. I didn't want to have a prediction last week. You know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm a little superstitious. So I'm not going to do it. I'm going to keep everything the same as last week. I feel good. I will say that I do feel better. I like the performance, and it's crazy to think about it. It's crazy to think that without Nabers, now without Devin Singletary, now without Kayvon Thibodeau, how is everybody feeling? Like a week ago, if you told me this before the Seattle Seahawks game, I'm way down. This week, with all this, all the people not playing, I still have some belief that the New York Giants are going to pull this off. I really do believe it. I do believe it. Cash Out says no fumbles, please. That's a fact. Again, everybody that fumbles not playing. Gray. Now, in all honesty, it's been a week. I really don't think that Gray fumbled that ball. I think he broke the plane. I think Gray broke the plane. And he took points off the boards from us. That was another touchdown, man. For sure. Prince Castro says 38 is wild. Talk about that prediction. That's what I'm talking about, Ruben. We're going to beat the brakes off. Is what I'm assuming he means. Off the Bengals. Beat the brakes off the Bengals for sure. For sure. That's what I want to see prime time, man. Prime time. I was in spaces yesterday, And it was actually a pretty humble Bengal fan in the space, just talking about his team, talking about what he doesn't like, what he does like, and he's not overlooking the Giants. Like, it's a lot of people that are overlooking the Giants, and it's kind of funny even saying that because they're a 1-4 team. But he was pretty modest, pretty humble. He came in there, he spoke his truth, talked about his team, but he does not like his defense. He feels like they can't run the ball, and I'm just sitting here listening like with the Jack Nicholson face, like, yeah, keep on going, because I love to hear about all these weaknesses. But goes right back to what I'm saying: ball control, ball control. If that defense is as bad as I think they are, and as bad as they've been playing, the New York Giants should be able to control this game. Time of possession is very, very important. I know everybody wants either Daniel Jones or this offense to just light it up. 300, 400 yards in the air, 4 or 5 touchdowns. That would be fantastic. But for me, truthfully, it's all about ball control, time of possession, keeping that offense off of the field. And everything sounds simple when you say it, but it's all about execution at the end of the day. And I do believe it, because that's what the New York Giants have been doing, sustaining drives in the games that we've won. And even the games that, we kept it pretty close. We were able to get long sustaining drives, take a lot of time off the clock. And unfortunately, we've been kicking field goals. But again, that's a big part too. We got to score touchdowns. But I think ball control is probably, outside of running the ball and stopping the run, ball control, time of possession is probably the second most important thing for the New York Giants in this game tomorrow and moving forward. You can say the same thing about the Eagles the following week, for sure. The New York Giants says, hold my beer. El Jefe, I'm not going to put it up there, but yes, F the Bengals for sure. My man Ruben with the fee 5-4 fum. So I know TP Waiter started the chant. He done started the chant in the comment section, because I see the fee 5-4 fums coming. Yeah. Prince Castro, I know that's one of yours too. Prince Castro was saying that way back. We trying to get that chant going. TP Way is leading that charge right now. For sure. We need to make that popular. Ruben says, don't be surprised if we drop 40. Listen, man, I'll fall out my chair if we drop 40 points. Listen, 40 points on the Bengals, 40 points for the Giants. Are you kidding me? We drop 40. Listen, if we drop 40, I will be unbearable. Unbearable. I will be back in my 2022 bag if we drop 40 on the Bengals. Drop 40. Yeah. It'd be an entirely different type of energy if we drop 40 on the Bengals. 40? Yeah, no. You wouldn't be able to tell me anything if we drop 40. And if we drop 40 on the Bengals, if we win and drop 40 on the Bengals, and we got the Eagles coming up, boy, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Because, yeah, I'm going to be looking real different. Acting funny, all that. If we drop 40 on the Bengals, y'all probably won't even recognize me if we drop 40 on the Bengals. That's how crazy it's going to be. I'm telling you. Let's see what. That's a fact, man. He said be a little too happy. Nah, I'll be more than I'll be exactly what Fighter's Destiny. Fighter's Destiny said I'll get delusional if we drop 40. That's a fact. Delusion, I'll accept it. I don't know what that means. New York Giants says I just sprayed my spray, and that means we win tomorrow. What does that mean? I spray your spray? You got to give me a little bit more information about that. Maybe not. Prince Castro's at 5 years now. I've been trying to get the fee 5-4 going. Fee 5-4 fum going. I was sitting behind the Giants in Minnesota. I remember because we saw the picture. That was, what was it? And I saw a clip, I believe, in that Minnesota game. You had I forget what Giants jersey you had on, but yeah, you were sitting behind the Giants in the Minnesota at the whiteout game. Yeah, that's a fact because I saw you in the crowd. They zoomed in on you. Jahad Ward turned around like, yeah, I like that. That's a fact. And shout out to Jahad Ward, even though he's in Minnesota now. Funny. He's probably one of the only Giants that showed me some love as actual players while he was still playing. That showed me some love on Instagram. Gave me a shout out, man. So shout out to Jahad Ward. He was another guy that was a big energy guy. nasty, brought that nastiness to him, to the New York Giants. So shout out to Jahad Ward, even though he's a Minnesota Viking right now, for sure. Kenny Smith says 40 points equals Super Bowl to me. Yeah, 40 points for the Giants. Are you kidding me? When's the last time we put up 40? Was it Eli? 40 points? Was that the Giants Saints game from like 2015? I think. Maybe I'm tripping. Have we dropped 40 since then? I don't know. I know you guys know it, man. So put it in the chat the last time we dropped 40 points. I ain't got time to look it up. I'm trying to keep up with this chat, man. Okay, my man Bill Hartnett says, oh yeah, Jahad did get the sack on Rodgers. Chat's moving so fast I can't even click on it. Bill Hartnett says Hattie and LPG always flipping each other off, crack me up. Yeah, that's a fact, man. This and LPG, shout out to LPG, man. License plate guy. Is no debating. Most likely the biggest Giants fan in history, or the most famous, I should say, Giants fan, because you don't want to, it's a lot of guys out there, a lot of people, I should say, a lot of people out there that are big Giants fans. So I just don't want to give him that title of the best Giants fan, but he is probably the most famous Giants fan out there, for sure. For sure. I see the Saquon jersey. Oh boy. Yeah, that's right. That's the jersey you had on. Yeah, the Saquon jersey. So you said hasn't been in 2+ years. Talking about 40 points, or you just talk about in general? Okay, here we go. A few times, yeah, they had Washington down 40-0 in 2018. Is that right? 40-0? 2018? Wow. Okay. Oh, somebody else said 2019. That's right. The 5 touchdown game. That's right. 5 touchdowns in Washington. I forgot about that. That's right. He threw for 405 touchdowns. I remember that. Thank you. You guys are the best. You guys are absolutely the best. Yep, 41 points against. I forgot about that. And they would have watched. They were the football team then. I think they were the football team. Maybe that was 2020 when was that the last year they were the Redskins? They might have been the football. They were the football team for what, like 2 years, 2 seasons, something like that. I forgot about that. That's right. 5 touchdowns from Daniel Jones. It was like 405 yards, 5 touchdowns. He was. Listen. Can we get that performance tomorrow? Can we get 405 touchdowns tomorrow? Am I asking for too much? I might be asking for too much. I might need to relax. I might need to take a step back. 400 yards and 5 touchdowns tomorrow against the Bengals is going to be a lot of people shutting up. You won't be able to tell me anything until the kickoff against the Eagles if Daniel Jones throws for 500 yards. I'm sorry, 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, and we drop 40. Yeah. You're gonna have to meet me on the moon. That's how high I'm gonna be if we do something like that. Oh, you talking about my man Thunder said he's starting DJ tomorrow in fantasy? Listen, more power to you. Positive energy to you. I'm gonna send it your way. Hopefully you get that. He said this Bengals O-line is barbecue chicken. That's a fact. Guys got to get home, man. Barbecue chicken for sure. Ruben said ain't nobody worried about them damn Eagles. Listen, you know what? The Eagles got their own issues right now. And again, for everybody that knows me, knows this channel, I hate the Eagles more than any other team. I hate the Eagles more than Dallas. I really don't hate the Commanders, but guess what? The way that fan base is talking right now and all the hype they got with Jaden Daniels, I'm starting not to like the Commanders too. I'm starting not to like them. I never really had an issue with the Commanders. They done got a quarterback and they acting funny. But it is what it is. But I hate the Eagles. So when you say ain't nobody worried about the Eagles, I'm with you 100%. I'm not worried about the Eagles. I can't stand the Eagles. I just need to beat the Eagles. We beat them last year, but a lot of people want to say it was fluky or they sat their starters. No, we made their starters sit down last year, the last game of the season. They didn't just sit there start. We sat them down. It was what? We had 21 points in the first half against the Eagles No, we sat them down. They came out without their starters. It is what it is. Said Eagle clowns. That's a fact. TP, you agree with me, right, TP? Yeah, yo. And I made it a point to sit back and just read the comments and go into the commander spaces, and because they, that game now. I'll take I'll turn away for a second from the Giants game. This Commanders versus Ravens game tomorrow, that's the early game, is probably one of the games that I know I'm going to be tuned in for this game, but I'm so interested in this game because of the way the Commanders are talking trash, man. The fan base the fan base collectively has jumped out the window. I got a couple of cousins. Shout out to my cousin BK. He's a Commander fan, Redskin fan, Washington football team fan. He's one of those guys. I remember yeah. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, they talking reckless in those spaces. Commander, they think Jaden Daniels already better than Lamar Jackson. They think they have the best offense in the league right now, and statistically, right now they're right up there. But the way these guys are talking, boy, when they come back down to earth, if it happens tomorrow or whenever it happens, but because it's gonna happen, because all these teams come back down to earth unless the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes. But the Eagles came back down to earth. You see that fan base is in shambles right now. They don't know which way to go. They're like a tribe with no leader, just wandering in the wilderness. But once the Commanders, yeah, once they come back to earth, I'll be waiting for them when they come back down. I absolutely will be waiting for them as soon as reality hits them again. Because right now you can't even talk to a Commanders fan. You can't do it. It's impossible. Their heads are in the clouds, kind of like my head will be in the clouds if the New York Giants drop 40 and Daniel Jones goes for 5 touchdowns. I'll be right up there. I'll meet them up there. I'll meet all the Commander fans up there if that's going on. Atlantic Lion says, "Kami humbling would hit like crack." That's a fact, man. That's a fact. And like I said, I'm cool. I got family that are Redskins fans, Commander fans, and I'm cool with a few people on Twitter. But yo, that 4-1, they are acting different. And you know what? Maybe I would be acting different too if we started out 4-1 and our quarterback was just lights out. I understand that, but again, you're still a Commander fan, and at some point in time, you will come back down to earth, and the people of Earth will be waiting for you. And foot's on next for sure, because we got to play them again, and I like our chances. Especially the way Bowen has been coaching. And to be honest, I think Jaden Daniels had his worst game against us. They didn't score. They didn't punt at all, but they also didn't score a single touchdown that game. I'm still mad at Dable for not signing another. Well, I can't be mad at Dable. I'm still mad at Joe Shane for not signing another kicker. But it is what it is. It is what it is. The New York Giants says Washington is not winning anything. Can we move on, please? That's it. I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on for sure. For sure. I got to check my notes because there was some things I wanted to talk about, but we done got into the chat. Actually, no, I hit on all my points already. We talked about Tibbs, Nabers. We talked about Hyatt. We talked about Singletary not playing. Tyrone Tracy. We talked about Tyrone Tracy a little bit, but throughout this whole week, and I saw it in the spaces not earlier, but last week as well at the post game. Everybody's saying that Tyrone Tracy is the running back one now. And I was pushing back on that. I kept on pushing back on it because Devin Singletary has showed us some good things outside of those fumbles, the momentum killers. I will say this. If Tyrone Tracy can repeat what he did last week, 100+ yards, efficiency, averaging, 7+ a carry for almost. If he can do something like that again, then when it comes to running back by committee, yeah, things are going to flip. Tyrone Tracy becomes running back one. Devin Singletary becomes a change of pace back. And what does that really mean? Because even on third down, Tyrone Tracy is looking like the better talent. Now, I also like Eric Gray. I'm a fan of Eric Gray, but Eric Gray has to sit out of this conversation right now. This conversation is about Devin Singletary and Tyrone Tracy. And if he does that again, Tyrone Tracy will, in my opinion, be running back one. It just does not make sense to do anything different. If you want to do, instead of 50-50 as far as snaps go, if you want to do 60-40 Tracy to Singletary, cool. but then you still got to sprinkle in a little bit of gray, just a little bit, because I like what he did on them screen passes. But I do believe that Tyrone Tracy can do those same exact things, and probably even better when it comes to the open field. Gray got a little bit of wiggle. Actually, Gray got a lot of bit of wiggle, but he doesn't have that explosiveness and big playability. We saw it in the preseason. He broke that 50-yarder, but he's not known for having long speed. Pause. My man Bookins in the building. He says the Giants almost broke Daniels. That's a fact. And you know who almost broke him? Drew Phillips. Remember that tackle when they sat him down for a sec? I thought he was going to put him out. They tenderized those ribs, barbecue chicken. It was him and Tyler Nubin. Peppered up those ribs. He had to sit out for a play. But yeah, we almost got him. We almost got him, and hopefully we can continue to get him. Well, not almost get him, but get him next time for sure. My man, Dumb Man says Singletary got demoted from questionable to out. Yeah, that's a fact. He's out. I'm just saying, if Tyrone Tracy repeats the performance that he had last week, when we talk about moving forward, because Singletary was close to playing this week. At least that's what they said. That's what they alluded to. And then he ended up being out. We got the news earlier today. But I'm just saying, if Tyrone Tracy does the same exact performance, or either something similar or something even better, then that conversation becomes real. Like really, like right now, the fans are talking about Tyrone Tracy being the number one running back. But if he repeats that, then the building has to talk about that too. Coaches have to talk about that too. And I think that's what people want to see. Atlantic Lion says the ribs was mush. Cash Out says I need 350 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and a rush and a rushing touchdown from. I'm assuming he means Danny or Daniel. He just that autocorrect got him. Are you saying that because you got a parlay going, something like that, or are you just saying that's what you need for your fantasy? If you're starting them, or are you just saying that in general? Because I need that in real life for sure. I'll take 350, 2 passing touchdowns, and a rushing touchdowns too. My man Dumb Man says Tyrone Tracy about to go crazy. That's a fact. I don't know what you're referring to, El Jefe. Who is? TP Way the Giants says you hear about the Viking fans stating their case for trading. Yes. And I'm assuming that's what El Jefe was replying to. I did see the video. Shout out to Vocal Vikes. He was one of the guys on that video. Vikings fan, Vocal Vike. He was on TP Way the Giants when we on his channel prior to the game, and then also post the game. We had to sit through some trash talking. But yeah, he put out the clip of Vikings fans saying that they should trade for Dexter Lawrence. And El Jefe, you're 100% right. They're absolutely smoking something for sure, because that's not happening. We're talking about a future gold jacket in Dexter Lawrence. You don't trade those, and they don't have anything that they can give us. Who are they going to give us for Dexter Lawrence? There's not one person on that team. Who could they give us for Dexter Lawrence? Nobody. Yeah, they smoking something for sure. For sure. Oh man, Big Blue B says never. That's a fact. Prince Castro says, did he not see Dexy with the New York Giants tattoo on his arm? He's a career Giant. That's a fact. My man, was it Keen Live 360 says Tyrone Tracy been buzzing since he's been drafted. Time for a showdown. Oh, hold on. Time for the showdown or the show. That's a fact. Now, I didn't expect, I did the video on Tyrone Tracy after we drafted him. I took a deep dive, and I saw some of his history. High school, in high school, he was a running back. Got switched to wide receiver, and then back to running back when he went to Purdue. But at Iowa, he was a wide receiver. So when people say he was just turned into a running back, not necessarily true. Again, he did play that in high school, and then was switched to a wide receiver, and then back to running back. But I didn't expect him to go off the way that he went off. He looked smooth. And he looked like he's been there before. Now, he is an older rookie. I believe he's already like 24, almost 25 years old. So he already has like his grown man strength. So you saw him making plays, but he's sneaky fast. Like when you watch him run, he doesn't look like he's burned like a burner. But when you see the way he closes up the distance, and there was one play that he broke for the 25-yarder, he split two defenders, and I still don't know how he did it. Still don't know how he did it. All I can say is that he's deceptively fast. Fast. Shout out to Sydney. Sydney says, "Hey Dash, hey Sydney. I know I started my stream early. I don't know if you caught that. I do apologize for the late warning. But yeah, I had to jump on fast because pause. I had to start the stream fast because I do want to see this Colorado game. Again, I'm a big fan of Shador saying this. Outside of him just being a quarterback, I've been a fan of the whole Prime family. So I definitely want to see the kid play tonight for sure. And I know I'm missing some of the game right now, but I will be wrapping up in a little bit because we all almost hit that hour mark, and that's usually the time that we slow the show down. Sydney Angel getting some love. She said, "Sydney Angel, you aren't flirting with Big Dads." She's not flirting. What are you talking about? Sydney's cool. So let's see what Tracy does tomorrow. Another 100-yard game. The conversation over on running back. Yeah, I do believe that. I conceded because I pushed because you said it last week too. A lot of people said it last week. About Tyrone Tracy is now running back one, and I pushed back on that a little bit. But yeah, no, if he has another big game like this, I'm absolutely with you guys. I'm late to the party this time. Prince Castro talking about that Tyrone Tracy when it was a subtle juke, like get off me. No, it's crazy. Yeah, absolutely. And his vision too, man. Fantastic, man. I wasn't expecting that. Thank you for the update. Says no score yet. We still in the first quarter though. No score yet. It's what Colorado, Kansas State. I want to see that. It should turn up though. They should be able to put up some points. Yeah, man. But yeah, I just want to put out my final thoughts about this game. And just keep it real. I absolutely think the New York Giants win this game. I don't care that it's prime time. I don't care about all that superstition. The Giants never win in prime time, all that crap. I don't care. I really believe with what I've been seeing because it's not just anything or a fluky feeling when it comes to this team in the last couple of performances. The New York Giants are getting better. The play calling is getting better. And you see the team, just the energy, the feel of the New York Giants is getting better. That Dallas game slowed it down a little bit. I was down after the Dallas game. But you can't say that the defense did not perform in that Dallas game, especially in that second quarter. So the defense definitely got better. And then the aggressive play calling and also the execution of the offense, in between the 20s. When we get into the red zone, it's a totally different thing. But I am excited to see what the New York Giants do. The only thing that I hate about Sunday Night Football is waiting all day for the game. That's it. That's the only thing that I hate is having to wait all day for the game. But it will be worth it. In my opinion, it will be worth it because the New York Giants will be victorious tomorrow, and we will be partying. I will be doing the post game. Yeah, I will be doing the post game late. I won't be on for long, but hopefully it's a victory Sunday night and a victory Monday morning. That's a fact. I'm going to get to a couple more chats before I go ahead and end this, or a couple more comments before I go ahead and end this. Let's see what we got going on. A lot of people just showing love to each other in here. Prince Castro, TP Way, that's for sure. Prince Castro, you said you got a K on it? You got a stack on it? Hey, you talking about the Giants game? That's what's up. I'm talking about putting your money where your mouth is. That's for sure. Sydney Angel says we have to win. There is no losing. That's for sure. He said bet 2K. I think 1K is enough. But hey, you guys want to dig deep, go ahead and dig deep and do it. I need to see this team play. Big Dash, have you been to MetLife Stadium for the Fan Fest? I have not. I have not been to MetLife Stadium for Fan Fest. No. Funny thing is, my family that's in here, shout out to my family who's in, when the stadium was being built, he was one of the electricians out there putting that stadium together. So shout out to my cousin again, family. He was out there when they were building that stadium. So shout out to him. That's it. All right. Shout out to James Hollis. What's going on, James? He says Burrow ain't a scrub. Neighbors What's taking so long for him to get back? Listen, I wish you were here earlier, a little bit earlier, James. But it's a concussion, man. You know how people react to concussions are different. It's not the same. I thought he would be back. We're talking 17 days. Tomorrow will be 17 days since he got the concussion. And people can come back faster than that. We saw Darius Slayton get a concussion and he came back in 4 days. Malik Nabers, not so much. I do think he'll make his return for the Eagles game, but everybody's different. And then also the severity of the concussion is totally different as well. He was out cold. I don't believe Slayton was out cold. And I really don't remember when Slayton actually got his concussion, but he was out cold, and the severity of it, I'm assuming it was a lot more than what Slayton was dealing with. And it's just time. He's a young guy. He'll heal. He'll be back, and he'll be explosive again. Pause. That's a fact too, Prince. He said, "Bro, Nabers was concussed way before he went unconscious." Yeah, it was a play before when he got hit in the neck. When he landed on his neck, I think that's what did it too. I think that's what did it too. If we're talking about the same play, I believe. Bill Hartnett says Nabers back healthy rather than sooner. Healthy rather than sooner has been my mantra on this one. Rather than sooner, yeah. Guys got to heal, man. Guys got to heal. The concussions are very. We see what's happening. You got guys with Guardian helmets in games now. It's different. Guys are really thinking about and trying to be protective of their health after football. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at Nabers. I don't like that he's not playing, but it's not. I'm not faulting him for that. He got a concussion. I just hate the situation, and I can't wait to see him back on the field. He said Nabers ain't Tua. That's a fact. Nabers ain't Tua, and I don't want him to be Tua. But prayers to Tua too, because I believe Tua is going to come back too. The NFL said he could come back, so we'll see what happens if he comes back after those 4 weeks or whenever they decide to bring him back. But the Dolphins absolutely need Tua right now because they look like hot garbage, basura, for sure. For sure. My man TP Wiz says no first down pointing receivers. Yeah, that's a fact. We can't even point for the first downs. You can't do this anymore. You can't. I don't know. I can't. Well, what are we gonna do? What's gonna happen? And you know what's crazy about that? They upheld the fine. Like I thought they were going to review that, see that he was really not doing like pointing finger guns or whatever. I thought that the NFL would review it, but he still got fined for that. I think he got fined like 10 grand for that still after they reviewed it, and that's just crazy to me. If I'm Slayton, I'm appealing that. I'm appealing that for sure. Maybe the 10,000 doesn't hurt him, but he ain't getting 10,000 from me like that. Nah, give me my money. Give me my money for sure. Pablo Vilez says, "What's good, Big Dash? I think it's important that Ojulari steps up big in his game against the Bengals in the absence of KT." Yeah, we talked about it. We talked about that. I'm comfortable with Ojulari for sure. I'm not happy that Tibbs is not playing. Of course not. But with Ojulari being the guy that's going to replace him, it could have been way worse. It could have been no Ojulari, and we're talking about Whitley or Tyrone Fox or somebody like that, Boogie Basham, somebody like that playing instead. But no, we got Ojulari, and I think that Ojulari is going to try to make some money tomorrow for sure. Hold on, what would you say? They didn't find him for the points, but we still lost. No, I saw it. Let me know if I'm wrong. He got fined. I believe it might have been Pat Leonard or somebody that reported it, but I remember seeing that he got fined still. So let me know. Oh, Colorado scores 7-0. That's a fact. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get to this game for sure. For sure. Said Tyrone Fox because of fumbles. I like Fox. And the funny thing is Tyrone Fox beat Lawrence Taylor's sack record at North Carolina. And Lawrence Taylor stamped Tyrone Fox too. But listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. Bill, yeah, let me know. Well, actually, don't let me know because I'm about to get out of here, Bill. You can let me know on Twitter. Just hit me up on Twitter. Let me know because I thought I saw that he still got fined. I don't like the 15 yards at all because I thought it was BS. But also when I heard that he got fined too, I'm like, wow, that I thought that the NFL were reviewing and see that that it wasn't what they thought it was. But I did see that. But if I'm wrong, let me know for sure. For sure. Tony High Point says, Dash, what it do? Said they talk trash about KT, but when he's not in the game, then we worried about his production. That's a fact. That's a fact. Now you're absolutely right, because they were saying that he wasn't up to snuff. He wasn't, yeah. And now they're worried about him. Yeah, nah, that's absolutely right. But listen, some of us in this Giants fans community, some of us don't, we ain't got it all. Some of us are missing a few, but we family and we love each other. And whenever we see a fan, saying something that we don't like, we try to bring them back in to teach them. And that's how we do, for sure. For sure. Okay, not fine. Art Staples has said not fine. I'm thank you for clearing that up. Thank that. And then, you know what? That makes me feel a lot better. So Art Staples has said he was not fine. Perfect. Perfect. I appreciate that, Bill. I appreciate that, Bill, with the fact check. That's for sure. All right. Right. Then let's see. Said, when I saw the live stream, last one I joined before the Cowboys game, I subbed instantly. I appreciate the love and support for that, man. I appreciate that, man. And shout out to everybody that, like I said, the channel is growing. It's all because of you guys, man. It's all because of you guys showing that love and support, man, and subscribing, sharing, and vibing like we vibing right now. But that's going to be it, man. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Do me a favor, though. I want to see the predictions in the chat. Before we get out of here, let's see some predictions in the chat. Even if you did your prediction earlier, go ahead and put your prediction in the chat again, and we're going to get out of here. I'm going to look at some of these scores, and then we're going to get out of here for sure. Hashtag Dash Squad. That's what's up. I appreciate that, Prince. Joseph Wilcox says, let's get the first drive for 6, then 3 and out, and then second drive, 6. He said, let them try and come back. Our D is ready. That's what I'm saying. That's what I said in the earlier video. Go out there, score 7, kick the ball off, 3 and out, get the ball back, score 7 again, 14-0. That's how we need to start it. I do see the predictions coming in. Prince Castro says 27-21 Giants. Hefe says 35-22 Giants. Sydney says 28-14 Giants. Ruben says 44-21. Again, Ruben, if we drop 40 on the Bengals and you see me, I might not be recognizable. I'll be acting very, very different. We got another one. Joseph Wilcox says 41-28. Again, Joseph, we score 40 points. I'm telling you, it's gonna be spooky. Bill Hartnett says 31-37 Giants. Pablo says 28-24. Shamari says 28-6. I love that score. That's dominance right there. Big Blue all day. That's a fact. Keen Line says 28-24. Sydney says she likes Ruben's numbers. The New York Giants, you got to stop. This ain't college, man. You got to stop. But I love it. I love the energy. Bill says 31-20. Was it 27? 31-27. He said, damn it, I know. He got you. He said, not 78. Yeah, the man said 78. Now, with that being said, man, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation.